Good morning, and you won't believe the absolute disaster I woke up to today. 500 of our best Longhorns busted out. Look at this mess. They smashed right through the heavy wooden rails like nothing and scattered across the entire Western Valley. I found this chewed up piece of rope near the gate, which means something definitely spooked them into a massive wild stampede. Well, standing around complaining won't bring those expensive cows back home, so it is time to saddle up and ride out fast. I am bringing my best rope today because I have a feeling these wild beasts will not come back without a fight. Just checking my iron, and out here in the rough territory, you never know if you will encounter rustlers, coyotes, or angry bears. This old leather saddle weighs an absolute ton, but it is the only thing keeping me on my horse during a stampede. Good boy, we have a very long and dusty ride ahead of us today, so I hope you ate plenty of oats. All right, folks, let us hit the trail and track down those runaway Longhorns before the rival ranch claims them for their own. The sun is already burning my face, and the prairie stretches out for miles, and finding them out here will be really tough. This tall grass is bone dry right now, and one spark and this whole entire beautiful landscape would go up in bright flames. Look down there, you can clearly see hundreds of fresh hoof prints heading straight towards the rocky cliffs in the distant west. I have been riding for 2 hours and I am already covered in this awful red dust, but it gets into absolutely everything. Just found this dropped shoe on the trail, which means one of my poor horses is probably limping out there somewhere alone. This warm canteen water tastes exactly like old dirt, but when you are this dehydrated, you will gladly drink absolutely anything available. See this snapped sagebrush branch? The herd definitely passed through here in a huge panic, trampling everything right into the hard dirt. Wait, be totally quiet for a second, and I think I just heard the distant lowing of a cow carried on the wind. They went this way? Come on, buddy. We need to ride fast and catch up before they reach the dangerous canyon edge. Whoa, looking down into this steep, rocky gorge makes my stomach completely drop, and one wrong step and it is a long fall. I just dropped a stone, and it took almost 10 full seconds before I finally heard it hit the bottom down there. Hello out there. The echo in this massive canyon bounces back like 5 times. It is incredibly eerie and beautiful right now. These huge red sandstone walls are actually baking hot to the touch, and they absorb all the intense midday heat from the sun. I am sweating buckets out here. The sun is completely merciless, and there is absolutely zero shade on this entire rocky ridge. I found a large vulture feather right here, which is definitely not the kind of omen you want on a dangerous trail. Tracks lead right down that incredibly steep and narrow path, and we have to follow them, but it looks extremely risky now. I am holding on to this cliff face for dear life, and the loose gravel keeps sliding out from right under my leather boots. Let me quickly check my old compass, and yes, they are still heading completely northwest, directly into the dense, dark pine forest ahead. These heavy pine branches keep snapping back and hitting me right in the face, and traversing this thick, wild forest is truly exhausting. Now I have sticky, white tree sap all over my hands, and it smells incredibly strong, like fresh pine and old turpentine. Ugh, I just walked face first into a giant, thick spider web, and I sincerely hope the huge spider is not on me. Shh, keep your voice down, and this deep woods area is notoriously full of angry grizzly bears, and I want zero trouble today. Look at the soft dirt here. The entire herd clearly squeezed through this tiny, narrow gap between these giant, ancient pine trees. This pine cone is completely crushed, which tells me that the massive stampede passed through here less than an hour ago in a panic. Did you just hear that loud branch snap behind us? And I am constantly looking over my shoulder because I feel totally watched. I am carving a quick notch in this tree trunk so I can easily find my way back out of this maze. Finally, I see bright daylight breaking through the trees ahead, and it looks like the trail opens up near the fast mountain river. Oh my goodness, this icy mountain river water feels absolutely incredible on my tired and sunburned face after that long, dusty ride. The water here is totally muddy and churned up, which guarantees the massive cattle herd cross the river at this exact spot. I am quickly washing my last crisp apple in the stream, and I need some quick energy before we tackle the next big hill. These round river stones are incredibly slippery and covered in slick green moss, and crossing here on horseback is actually very dangerous business. Whoa, I am carefully balancing my way across, and the freezing current is surprisingly strong and trying to push me right over now. I slipped and soaked the entire bottom of my favorite linen shirt, so I have to wring it out before we continue. I just pulled this clump of red cow hair off a thorny bush on the opposite bank, and they definitely came this way. The wet, muddy tracks continue right up that steep embankment into the rocky hills, and they are moving much slower now for sure. I have thick brown mud completely caked onto my leather boots, but we have to keep pushing forward toward those old mines. It is pitch black inside this creepy abandoned gold mine, so I am lighting a quick match just to see the path. Look at this huge rusty square nail I found on the dirt floor, and miners probably left it here 50 long years ago. These old wooden support beams are completely rotten and soft, and touching them feels like the whole mountain might collapse on my head. The air in here is incredibly thick with old stagnant dust, and I can barely breathe without coughing up a total storm today. Wait a minute, I hear a very faint, sad mooing sound echoing from deep inside the tunnel. One cow must be trapped. Hey there, girl. I finally found you hiding in the dark, and do not worry, I will get you out of here safely. I used this broken, heavy pickaxe handle to pry away some loose rocks blocking the path, and she is completely free to move. Holding my lantern high so the poor, scared cow can actually see the bright exit and slowly walk toward the warm sunlight. Come on, get moving outside right now, Shu. Let us go rejoin the rest of your gigantic, stubborn family in the valley. There they are. Look at that massive, beautiful herd grazing peacefully in the huge, dusty valley, and we finally caught up to them. Pulling my bandana up because 500 moving cows kick up an absolute terrifying sandstorm of red dust into the hot air. Swinging my rope high to show these stubborn beasts exactly who is boss, it is time to turn them completely around now. Hey, yeah! Move along, you giant lazy creatures! Turn around and start marching back toward the Green Ranch right this very minute! Whoa! That huge sharp horn missed my ribs by a single inch, and you have to be constantly alert in this chaotic mess. Just snapping my heavy leather whip in the air to keep the slow stragglers moving fast, we are making excellent progress today. See the double star iron brand right on her flank? That proudly proves every single cow here belongs to our family ranch. My entire face is completely coated in thick dirt and sweat, but I do not even care because we successfully saved them. Thank goodness the entire herd is finally turned around and marching happily home, and the hardest part of the job is officially over. Tossing some more dry, dead wood onto the blazing campfire, the desert gets incredibly freezing cold as soon as the sun drops. The brilliant orange flames feel absolutely amazing on my freezing stiff fingers, and this has been the longest day of my entire life. I am just stirring these bubbling baked beans in the heavy iron pot, and it smells like absolute heaven to a starving cowgirl. Blowing on this boiling hot black coffee, it is thick as mud and strong enough to wake up a totally dead man. Chewing on this tough salted beef jerky, it takes forever to eat, but it gives you exactly the rich energy you need. Just doing some quick maintenance, cleaning the dust off my revolver barrel so it never jams if I really need it tomorrow. Check out this massive, painful blister on my palm from throwing that heavy lasso all day long, but it definitely hurts a lot. I am completely exhausted to my bones, and I am going to unroll my warm blanket and sleep like an absolute heavy log. We finally made it back to town, and you can see the local sheriff standing right over there keeping a very close watch. Tying up my tired horse at the wooden hitching post, he definitely earned a huge bucket of fresh oats and some rest. trying to smack some of this awful thick trail dust off my jeans before I go inside the totally crowded, lively building. Taking my hat off for 1 second to fix my messy, crushed hair, and helmet hair is a real problem in the West. Good evening, gentlemen. Just nodding a quick, polite hello to the local ranchers sitting outside the old, busy dry goods supply store. Listen to that incredibly satisfying jingle of my silver boot spurs hitting the hollow wooden boardwalk. It just sounds completely, totally iconic. Tossing my heavy leather pouch of hard-earned silver coins, the boss paid me double for saving the entire expensive cattle herd. Pushing through these classic swinging wooden doors right now, the lively music and loud chatter sounds absolutely perfect after a lonely week. Wow, the local place is completely packed tonight, and everyone from town is here celebrating the end of a very long, hard week. Leaning on this sticky wooden bar counter, my tired legs are completely shaking, and I honestly cannot stand up straight much longer. Flipping a shiny silver dollar to the busy bartender, asking for a totally clean glass and your very best aged strong whiskey. Holding this cold, beautiful glass in my dirty hand, I have literally been dreaming about this exact moment since early this morning. Here's to everyone watching, and here is to surviving another crazy, wild, dangerous day on the beautiful, rough frontier without breaking a bone. Haha, that old piano player just told the absolute funniest dirty joke, and the people in this town are truly wildly entertaining folks. Look at that intense, high-stakes poker game in the corner. Those serious guys are betting real gold nuggets on every hand. I found this lucky ace of spades lying right on the floor, and maybe I should go join the table and win big. Knocking back the rest of this strong, fiery drink, it burns all the way down, but it warms my totally exhausted soul. Thanks for riding with me today, and I am going to enjoy the party now, and I will see you on the next adventure.